Duff here. Today is September 11th, which normally has a whole different kind of meaning for most people. But in Cindy and my situation, it happens to be the day after Hurricane Irma hit our property. It wasn't fun. The way that the track of the hurricane went, we were pretty much in one of the worst spots you could be, as we were in the upper right-hand quadrant of the right around the eye, which is the area that gets exposed to the most wind and rain for the longest period of time, the most severe wind and rain for the longest period of time. So you know, we never got the eye. We got the band of rain above and the band of rain right down they call it the comma. We kind of rolled right through the whole comma. So let's show you the aftermath. So we had the Tacoma and the Prius in front of the garage door, and it was a good thing. There was a period of time where the wind was coming from the south, and it was just hammering the garage door. You could see it buckling, and we were glad we had the vehicles in front of there. As far as in front of the house goes, I don't know if you can see up there, we've lost a number of shingles. Quite a few shingles were stripped off the roof, especially on the front and the eastern side of the house. Our avocado tree is leaning badly. I'm hoping I can fix that, because I really do like that tree. Up front, the oak trees have survived well. A lot of branches were stripped off of it, and leaves were ripped off of it, but they're not leaning, which is good. Here's the chicken tractor that the chickens were living in the garage for a couple days. It was far from an ideal situation for them, but they did okay. You have to excuse the noise, because they have not one but two generators going. That generator is the one that I managed to fix during the day on Saturday. Had some sort of annoying problem. That's powering my water equipment, and also I'm feeding a line over to my neighbor because he has no generator, so we're getting him some power as well. This tree here was a casualty. It's kind of a bummer, because this is a tree that was planted from seed, and the main taproot is snapped, so that's definitely going to be a goner. Likewise, this big cactus is something that I actually got from my mom. It was a little potted cactus, and it grew to be this size, probably, I don't know, 16, 17 feet, and that's pretty much destroyed. Although I am going to try to cut a branch off of it and pot it and hope that it starts again, which I've done before, so it might be okay. The pool cage, Cindy and I made the decision on Saturday to we pulled the two panels around each corner, the far corners, to reduce the amount of wind drag. And as you can see, the cage is intact. In addition to the screens that we pulled, though, we also lost a panel up in the roof, well, the whole strip across the roof, and both doors took some damage. That door is bent, and there's a middle section there that's bent, so I'm hoping it'll be fixable. I have no idea how long it'll take until it is actually fixed. Here you'll see our banana trees took a beating. This is the first time we've gotten bananas actually for a couple of years, and of course the tree is now destroyed. So hopefully, I'm hoping we can harvest these and they'll still be good eventually, or ripen, I don't know. Another tree that bit the dust. That's snapped off clean. These just got kind of permanently redirected. I'm going to just trim those back hard. You'll see my antenna did not survive the storm. The pole bent. Luckily I don't really have a need for that, but I kind of kept it around just in case. You know, if I ever wanted to get over the air broadcast, I still could. Now I cannot. Over here you'll see the birds of paradise. All the tall ones are pretty much history. They all snapped off. You can see some of the pool screening hanging there. This was kind of a bummer. This big, beautiful coconut palm that, again, I planted from a coconut. God knows how many years ago. 13, 14 years ago. Really like this tree, love this tree. And that snapped and went down. You can just see how big it is. I mean, it's really, really a beautiful tree. The oak tree next to the chicken coop has a little bit of a left lean to it, but that's okay. But the most amazing thing to me, and the most positive thing that I took out of all this, is that the chicken coop survived. That shed that we converted into a chicken coop was wind rated to about 70 miles an hour. And I am pretty sure that we saw winds of 125 to 130 miles an hour. Damn near close to double the wind rating of that shed. And it survived. And I did all kinds of stuff to harden it, like I showed in the last video, strapping it across the roof. And it's pretty much unscathed. I mean, a lot of the paint that I have on the roof kind of stripped off, but inside it seems fine. The door's still closed. I don't see anything that shifted as far as the deck or the run here goes. We did lose one panel on the edge of the run here. I don't know if you can see that from here, but the rightmost panel got stripped off, so that's an easy fix. But yeah, everything on the coop is intact. I mean, that was pretty much a miracle, wasn't it? Don't you think so, cutie? It was amazing. Yeah, your house. Your house. Yeah, your house. Good girl. Good girl. So yeah, the coop survived, so that was good news. The big shed here, that was okay. There is a section of the roof up there that I saw that it looked like the screws pulled out. I'm gonna have to hop up there and put some new screws to seal that up, otherwise it's gonna leak. Let's see, what else back here? The garden took a beating, but we didn't really have much in there anyways. In addition to all the screening that came out of the pool cage, of course it let all sorts of organic material in, so the bottom of the pool is just covered in shit. Sort of cleaned up most of that. It's still a mess, but it's okay. Cindy spent a lot of time. What you doing, Kristen? Cindy spent a lot of time trying to clean up the deck again. That was covered in shit. And, it's better, but it's going to take a lot more work. This side of the house, this is the side that took wind. Yeah, again, you can see some shingles missing up there. This took wind the longest. You could actually feel the wind pressure coming through that single window, even though we had a plywood across it. We could feel a constant flow of warm, humid air coming in there. So that was a little bit worrisome, but that held up. It was okay. The orchard here took a beating. Our Meyer lemon tree is history. Got ripped like totally out of the ground. Raspberry bush barely hanging on. The orchard's kind of, it's not a goner, but it wasn't in good shape, and it's even in worse shape now. And again, in addition to that one generator you saw out there, here's my second one. I have a little Honda that we're using to power up most of the stuff inside. Well, not most of the stuff, but we have like the fridge going, have a fan, have some chargers and stuff in there that we're running. Kind of bare essentials, but it's working pretty well. I think I'd be able to even power stuff like inductive. We have an inductive hot plate kind of deal. I think we'll be able to use that for heating, or heating for cooking if you need to. That's another thing I'm very happy and proud that stayed together. That shelter that I made for the water equipment last year, I had some straps down. I ratchet strapped it to the ground, and it stayed together, which I was happy about. So that's kind of the tour as far as the damage on our property. In general, you know, our area took a lot of damage. In some regards, we were lucky. In the big picture, we were lucky because they were forecasting originally for the eye of the storm to kind of just hug off the coast, just go right off the coast, and that could have been a pretty catastrophic situation as far as storm surge goes. Because if the eye stayed over the water, that would have given tons and tons of opportunity for the back end of the hurricane to push water onshore. And at one point they were talking about 10 to 15 feet of storm surge in certain areas, including Naples. And we did get some storm surge, but nothing near what they were talking about. So in that regard, we were lucky because the path was more inland. For us personally, it wasn't a good thing that the storm was inland, but in the big picture, it helped people out. It saved a lot of damage by not having horrible storm surge. As far as riding out in the house and how it felt and what it's like to be inside a hurricane, it's pretty scary. You know, when the wind starts roaring, unless you've ever been in that situation, it's hard to explain. But you just feel so much force pressing on the building. Various points we heard things flopping around and we couldn't really see what was going on. We could see somewhat because we actually kept our power until 3:45 or so, which was much later than I thought we would have power. And what we were doing, even though we were totally boarded up, is I have a security DVR that has a camera out the back and out the front, and we were using that to monitor the situation. We kind of see what was going on, so that was nice. But I would say the brunt of the storm hit us probably around 6, maybe something around 6 was probably the worst. Because like I described, the wind was hammering from the north and the east, and then when we got into the hurricane got above us a little bit, then it flipped and the winds were hitting us from the south, which was the front of the house, and that just, I don't know, that it sounded bad. It sounded really bad. So like you saw, you know, we had appreciable damage. It's going to be a pain to get the roof addressed. It's going to be a pain to get the pool addressed because it seems like almost everybody had some degree of roof and if they have a pool cage damage. So who knows how long it's going to take, who knows how much fun it's going to be dealing with the homeowner's insurance. We've been kind of cut off because right now we have very limited cell phone service. Actually, Cindy, for some reason, she has AT&T like I do, and she can get service once in a while, but I've been just like no service for the last day, so I'm kind of cut off. Can't make phone calls, can't really communicate with anybody. So Cindy did it for me. Some people going by on some high-speed electric scooters, gas scooters. Interesting. But anyways, yeah, I've been more or less cut off, so I haven't really gotten to get the word out as much as possible. Cindy called my stepmom last night and let her know that we're okay. Cindy's family, local family's okay. My friends and stuff from work seem like they're doing okay, but I really can't communicate like I normally do because obviously we have no power and that means no internet, no cable. So yeah, we're kind of stuck. So plan for now is I'm going to be trying to scout gas wherever possible. I didn't really even try today because I'm figuring everything's going to be a mess. But hopefully starting tomorrow I can get some more gas to keep us going. Between the two generators we can probably exist like this for a while. It's not fun, but it's certainly not horrible. So there's people in much worse situations than we are. So that's it. Moral of the story is if you can avoid going through a hurricane, do it, because it kind of sucks. But anyways, oh, I also have some aerial footage that at some point I'll get up there where I took aerial footage of before, aerial footage of after. So that might be an interesting comparison for you to check out. You just see what a hurricane can do. So that's it for now. Until next time, not sure when this will get uploaded, but it will sooner or later. Until next time, Duffman out.